Let's look at a different way to factor. It's called the swing method. This is for factoring trinomials. Now it's a lot like the AC method, where 3 is, in this example, 3 is the A and 8 is the C. So we're going to take 8 times C, or 8 times C, which is the same as 3 times 8, which is 24. Now what we want to do is break down 24 and find y times y is 24, that equals plus 14, because we need to equal the 14 in the middle. So we could try 1 and 24, which doesn't work because that gives us 25. We can try 2 and 12. Stop right there for a second. Since we're trying to get a plus 14 and 24 is also positive, that means that the 2 and the 12 both have to be positive. And that's what we're going to use. Now here's how the AC method works. We know since we're dealing with trinomials, we're going to end up with 2 sets of parentheses. And we're going to use plus 2 and plus 12 for our last, if we were to the full method. We haven't used x squared yet, and so we're going to think what times what is x squared, and we're going to say x times x. Now we haven't used the 3 yet either. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide each of these numbers by 3. To complete, what we're going to do is we're going to look at this 2/3. Notice we have a fraction. We don't want a fraction. So we're going to take this denominator of 3 and we're going to swing it in front of the x, which leaves us with 3x plus 2. Now notice the 12 divided by 3 reduces down to 4, which leaves us with x plus 4. Now let's check to see if this is correct. We're just going to check with the full method. So 3x times x is 3x squared. 3x times 4 is 12x. 2 times x is 2x. And 2 times 4 is 8. Combine our like terms, and we do get the original expression, 3x squared plus 14x plus 8. Let's try another one just to make sure that we know what we're doing. Let's take the 12 times the 5, which is 60. Let's find factors of 60 to add up to 19. So let's think about it for a second. We know that 4 and 15 both are positive. So we go straight to our 2 sets of parentheses, do our plus 4 plus 15. We have x and x because of the x squared. We haven't used the 12 yet. So we're going to divide that by 12, or 4 by 12, and divide 15 by 12. And what we're going to do, we're going to reduce 4 over 12, which reduces down to 1 over 3. Then we reduce 15 over 12, because 3 goes in both of those. And we get 5/4. And if you're wondering, 4 goes in 4 once, 4 goes in 12 3 times. 3 goes in 15 5 times, 3 goes in 12 4 times. Notice that we have 2 fractions. We want to swing those denominators. When we swing, we get 3x plus 1, and we get 4x plus 5. And that's how you factor by the swing method. Let's just do a couple more. On this one, notice we have a GCF, so we're going to take out that GCF first. If you don't take out the GCF first, you're going to end up with 2 possible combinations when you do the AC part. So we got to take out the 2 first, and then we do the swing method on 15 times 2, which is 30. Now we're thinking what times what is 30? It gives us a negative 13. We know since it's a positive 30, because 15 and 2 are both positive, signs have to be the same. So let's think 1 and 30 won't work. 2 and 15 would if they were opposite signs, but they're not opposite signs. 3 and 10 will. Since that's a negative 13, that's a positive 30, signs have to both be negative, because negative 3 times negative 10 is positive 30. When you add them together, you get negative 13. Still bringing that 2 down as our GCF. We're going to do two sets of parentheses. We're going to write down the -3, -10, x and x because we have x squared. Haven't used the 15 yet. So we're going to divide that by 15. And divide that by 15. Which means we're just going to reduce and swing. 3 goes into 3 and 15. So we get 1/5. 5 goes in both 10 and 15. So which means we get 2/3. And we're going to swing the 5. Swing the 3. And we're done. Let's do one more. Notice once again we have a GCF of y. Make sure you take out that GCF first always. And we end up with 6x squared minus 7x minus 5. Let's do the inside the parentheses. 6 times -5 is -30. Need to find what times what is -30. That gives us -7, which means we have opposite signs. We try 1 and 30, well, that won't work. 2 and 15 won't work. 3 and 10 will. Since we need a -7, the bigger number has to be negative. So we have a +3 minus 10. Bring down that y. Two sets of parentheses because we're doing the trinomial inside the parentheses. We have +3 minus 10. We have x squared, so we're going to do x and x. Haven't used the 6 yet, so we're going to divide that by 6 and that by 6. Reduce and swing. 3/6 is the same as 1/2. 10/6 is the same as 5/3. Swing the 2, swing the 3, and we end up with the y, parentheses 2x plus 1, and then parentheses, 3x minus 5. We have just used the swing method.